Sorry, you know about it.
You said that. I'm not doing it.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome the team from Montpellier and Northampton Saints.
We're going to ask you about Stephen Knight first. We had him in on the show this week, and he was saying how he actually likes those situations. He's got so much faith in him that he's going to come up with the goods, man.
Yeah, I guess that's what you live for as a team. You know, big pressure moments. Obviously, it's a signal to plan, but you know, you've always got to back the kickers in those circumstances, and that's what we practice all every day for. And you know, we trust him to deliver that. So you know, just very thankful it went over on the night.
A few things before we touch on that. How much did you need this tonight?
Oh, desperately. I think for our home fans, our own self-belief. You know, it's been so much hard work. We've been in some real brutal games where you know we've come off second best, but you know we've poured our hearts and souls into it. You know, I guess if you have questioned our commitment, our tactical, technical play, and it's frustrating when the results aren't going the way. You're pouring your heart and soul into it, but you know, you're just coming off second best. So. You know, we're just glad that we could deliver a performance and a win for the home fans, and hopefully this is the lift we need to keep our season on.
It was pretty ugly in the end. I think in the first half, well, throughout the game, we knew about the size and the physicality of Montpellier. So we talked and missing our sort of, I guess, three main line-out men being injured. We talked about moving around. We really want to get caught up in their set piece and involved in too many line-outs and scrums. I think we achieved that pretty well in the first half. Second half, the rain came down a bit, made it slippy, made it a little bit of an armour, so too much. But good to get there in the end. He took a knock to his knee in training on Tuesday, and just didn't get it right. Just got a bit of fluid on his knee and just didn't settle. I think for next week he'll be fine.
Against a team that big,
never. I think they are the biggest side I've ever come across in terms of the team. I think if you look at the front five, the back row, you know, you're looking at some of those players who are probably bigger than our second rows today. So it's an enormous package. But I think our lads did well. You know, I think Sam Dickinson, who played mainly as an 8, you know, he was outstanding. Patterson, second row, you know, they were everywhere. More scrum, defenders. Really.
what was one of the most aesthetically pleasing team to watch? What's your view? Do you think that's an ugly way to approach the game?
I don't think sometimes that matters. It's professional sport, and you want to find a way of winning games. And Jake White's got a way of winning games. To get lots of big players and dominant in the set piece, and you know they're coming, and you know usually how they're coming. It's just a case of stopping.
Difficult one. Do you think that was game gone?
No, it didn't really, because it's always good with a bit of time left. If you know that if you can get that kick, it works both ways, doesn't it? A bit of time still on the clock, but then you actually want time. If you get the kick, of course, you don't want to restart. So we knew we actually wanted him to kick and for the play to continue just in case. I think probably White will look back at that situation and think I should have got it off the field, because that's a pretty crucial kick not to get away. Certainly that was absolutely. I think a little bit of over optimism from Harry. He put in some really good touch finders previously. And I think sometimes when you're under pressure, which we had been for probably 10-15 minutes of that second half, sometimes you just need to calm down and make sure you take 5 yards off it and get it out. Well, this his career here, and he's been here longer than I have, so he's certainly been here a long time. But more often than not, he kicks those goals, and I was confident that he'd put that through the post.
I said some home defeat would have been hard to take, but now you're right in the mix with a trip to Castra next week.
Yeah, professional sport, very, very fine margins, and we got through this one. We could have lost it, but fortunately we won it, kept our nerve, which is very important, because in European rugby, in this format competition, you must win your first home game. You must win it. So it's given us a chance now. Cass got beaten today, so we'll go down. We should have some players fit for next week, some more players to choose from. Really pleased with Appy, our Fijian second row. It's his debut today. Really pleased with his ball carrying, so it gives us some good selection. Hopefully headaches for next week. He took a knock to his knee in training on Tuesday, and just didn't get right. Just got a bit of fluid on his knee and just didn't settle today. I think for next week he'll be fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome the teams of Montpellier and Northampton Saints.
We've got to ask you about Stephen White first. We had him in on the show this week, and he was saying how he actually likes those situations. He's got so much faith in him that he's going to come up with the goods, man.
Yeah, I guess that's what you live for as a 10. Big pressure moments. Obviously, it's a situation against the plan, but you've always got to back the kickers in those circumstances, and that's what we practice all every day for. And we trust him to deliver that. So just very thankful it went over on the night.
A few things before we touch on that. How much did you need this tonight?
Oh, desperately. I think for our home fans, our own self-belief. We've been so much hard work. We've been in some real brutal games where we've come off something best, but we've poured our hearts and souls into it. I guess if you have questions about our commitment, our tactical, technical play, and it's frustrating when results aren't going the way. You're pouring your heart and soul into it, but you're just coming off something best. So. We're just glad that we could deliver a performance and a win for the home fans, and hopefully this is the lift we need to keep our season on.
It was pretty ugly in the end. I think in the first half, well, throughout the game, we knew about the size and the physicality of Montpellier. We talked and missing our three main line out and then being injured. We talked about moving around. We really want to get caught up in their set piece and involved in too many line outs and scrums. I think we achieved that pretty well in the first half. Second half, the rain came down a bit, made it slippy, made it a little bit of an armour, so too much. But good to get there in the end.